There are very few destinations worldwide that are still considered by fly anglers to be untouched. Well, we are in one of those environments right now. We are just south of Iqaluit, Nunavut, in the Arctic of Canada, chasing Arctic char. Wild, pristine, sea-run fish. Coming up next on The New Fly Fisher.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Nunavut Tourism, Orvis Sporting Traditions, Rio Products, Superfly, fly fishing made easy.
One of the world's final frontiers of wide open adventure. Getting to this northern wonder is easy with access through many of Canada's international airports. Notwithstanding, it's an incredible flight to fishing paradise. Welcome to Iqaluit, the gateway to your Arctic adventure. Iqaluit is a town of just under 8,000 people on Canada's Baffin Island, where Inuit life is rich and vibrant. Here, there are seamlessly countless opportunities for adventure. We're here for the fishing, specifically Arctic char. Upon arrival in Iqaluit, we meet Alex Flaherty, owner of Polar Outfitting, a full-service guide outfitter dedicated to safely accessing all that Nunavut has to offer. And believe me, Nunavut is open for business. Our adventure begins immediately upon disembarking the plane. As with many maritime towns, business on the water is dictated by the tide. The afternoon high tide was perfect for our departure south in Frobisher Bay to our final destination at York Sound. We took our time on our way south, stopping to take in the sights, having dinner, and we arrived at our destination just after 3 a.m. We got settled. Time is different in the Arctic. You can leave your watch at home, go by your own clock. We begin fishing right away. It's 3:30 in the morning and things start off with a bang. Fish! Oh. Oh, he's taking drag. Oh my gosh. These char are unbelievably strong. I was just saying about how the water was just dropping out of this river system, this estuary, and that I'm thinking that most of these fish are going to be out in the bay, but there might be some stragglers, and sure enough, we managed to pick one up. I'm using a 9-weight full sinking line with a 12-foot, 14-pound leader and a weighted double bunny streamer, and it's all I can do to keep these fish buttoned up. They're just so strong. You know these fish are fantastic when they take it well into your backing. So good. And with this backdrop, how can you beat it? I might have to chase this guy. I'm gonna have to go for a little walk, excuse me. Go get my Arctic char here. Okay. Now, look at this. Oh, what a great fish. And this is not a big Arctic char, but it gives you an indication of just the size of them and how strong they are. Look at that, not dissimilar from a brook trout with those pink to red spots with the blue hue around them. Remember, these fish are just coming in from the ocean and are still super, super silver. And the males will get bright red as they're getting ready to spawn. And there's a fly we're using, just a simple cone-headed bunny with a little bit of flash and a red throat. Seems to be doing the trick today. And look at that. 5, 6 pound fish, 7 pound fish, Arctic char. I mean, you cannot beat any of all this. It's just absolutely fantastic. Coming up, more Arctic char from Canada's Arctic. Well, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, high bluebird, sun-shining skies. Quite warm today, totally opposite. Foggy, socked in, pure Arctic weather. It's about 2 degrees above zero or 36. It's freezing cold for Arctic char. Arctic char are an extremely fly-friendly fish, this day eagerly taking streamer patterns in a variety of colors. Diet in the ocean consists of capelin and other small fish, snails, zooplankton, and shrimp. They are highly migratory, using the tides to circumnavigate the bowl shape of the sound. Constantly moving, there are often new fish coming into casting range all the time. Tide dependent, of course. Oh, fish on. Come on, eat it, eat it. Fish. Clearly those fish do not feel the cold, because that one came in hot. I was doing a little bit of pre-fishing this morning and, was trying to see what these fish were cluing in on. And I threw everything but the kitchen sink at them. The only thing I didn't throw was anything pink. And I have a cone-headed bunny leech that's about 3 inches long, and tied that one on after zeroing all morning. And as soon as I did, boom, giant. Released that fish. Next cast, 6 pounder. So they're definitely keying in on anything pink, and that's what I've got on right now, is that same cone-headed bunny leech. Oh man, the thing about these fish is that they walk you in circles as they swim. Literally, they'll swim all around you. All right, let's see if we can get this char to come in. Maybe he's not quite done yet. And gone to sea. Just when you think they're good and done, they've got another think coming. And this one isn't even really a big one, probably a 5 or 6 pound fish. Now this one is the most colored up fish we've seen so far, starting to get quite pink. That white leader on his fins, just beautiful, just beautiful. Fly right in the corner of the mouth. Great fish. Give him a breath. Fish comes loose. Red lips. Beautiful colors. Just amazing. Dark green back. Spots are starting to come out. It's the most colored up fish we've seen all week. Just amazing. You ready? I'll say. Just like a bullet. Gone. That's just incredible. Yes. So I want to talk about the strip that I'm doing on these retrievals for these Arctic char. Once your line's out, hook your line over your middle finger like your bail if you're fishing conventional. And it's a 8 to 12 inch strip straight down, in a jerky, erratic motion, which gets that fly undulating in the water. Do 3 or 4 at a time, give it a quick pause, 3 or 4 at a time, give it a quick pause. Oftentimes those char will take it just as you start again after the pause. When you get close to your person, a sweep in, often those fish will see that sweep and see it as a fleeing bait fish or a fleeing shrimp, and they'll attack it on the sweep. Fish. So, an interesting thing's happened this afternoon. As you can see, things have slicked right off. Things are basically between tides, between high tide and low tide. It's called slack tide. Now, when slack tide happens, that means that literally the ocean stops. Nothing's moving in, nothing's moving out. And when the ocean stops, the food sources stop. So I went quite a while, probably half an hour without getting a hit from any char, and I decided to literally slow it down from that strip to almost like a chironomid crawl, something that's really slow, just keeping that bunny leech off the bottom. And 4 casts in, this giant just whaled it. So when the ocean slows down, slow your presentation down. Let's see how big this one is. Oh, it looks like a good fish. Now, these fish are related directly to the brook trout. They're from the same family of salmonids. And what's interesting about these fish, even though they don't look like brook trout now, is if you look on their pectoral fins, you can see the leading white edge, which signifies brook trout, obviously, from what we know. See the leading white on the fins, just like a big brook trout, but you know, same family, but definitely not the same species. I'll get this guy unbuttoned and we can send him back. Flies out. One last look. Oh, great fish. Beautiful. Just gone like a bullet. So, when the ocean goes quiet, slow things down. Things will turn again and the water will start sucking back out. You have to speed things up again. Let's see if we can get some more of these char before the tide turns.
Coming up, we start to put the pieces of the puzzle together in Nunavut.
Polar outfitting is a new business. We offer ecotourism. We do a lot of sightseeing, glacier visits, char fishing. Char fishing in Nunavut is very sustainable. People only grab what they need in terms of sustainable fishing. Safety is our #1 priority for taking out our clients. Our guides are fully trained. They're all certified. They're active harvesters. So we know when to stay still or keep going. We don't generally run on a clock. Our key factors are just the weather, the water conditions. Our main experience is for clients to have fun, to get to see a part of Canada that not a lot of people has seen. To my opinion, this is probably the last frontier. A lot of people are starting to want to visit Northern Canada and get to experience great outdoors.
It's a good one. And they're off. This fish hit like a ton of bricks. I've got my drag cranked down. We're into our backing already. Nice. You know, not half an hour ago, this water was completely slick. The tide was not moving at all. And we had to slow our presentations down big time. As you can see, the conditions have changed. I believe the tide's starting to flood back out, and there's a good, healthy chop on the water. The ocean changed, the fishing changed, and we're hooked up to a big, big Arctic char. This is a big fish. And the cool thing is I got to see him hit it. Flash silver. You know, they find comfort in running the shoreline. And if you can see, this fish has gone right up to shore. You see where my line is? He's come right up to shore, and now he's running back towards me, right along the shoreline. Now you can reel as fast as you can, but the good thing about these fly lines is that they help you stay tight to the fish, because there's often a belly in the water that keeps that fly tight. Oh, yeah, that's a good fish, man. Tight in the fish's mouth. It's fascinating to see how these fish move within the tidal system. You know, they congregate when it's low tide in the deeper areas, and then they spread out in these bays as the tide comes in. And they're such migratory fish that really you don't need to walk around a lot. You can just stay in one spot and let these big Arctic char come to you. I didn't think I was going to be that lucky. There he goes. Maybe it's better I didn't grab him early. Got him. Look at that. Whew. What a stud Arctic char. Hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Just pops out. And that's what you come to Polar Outfitting for. Look at that on fly. You can't beat it all day long. Woo-hoo! Spectacular fish. It's a male. Look at the kype on its jaw. Fantastic. All right, buddy, you ready to go make some babies? Thank you. Face wash to boot. Love it.
Coming up, we hook a giant with Polar Outfitting.
So here's the equipment that we used while fishing for Arctic char here with Polar Outfitting out of Iqaluit, Nunavut. It really is very basically simple. You know, based on what the tides are telling you will dictate which outfit you use. When the tides are low, I went with a 9-foot 9-weight fly rod, a floating 9-weight line, and anywhere from a 14 to 20 pound 9 to 12 foot leader material. When the tide was in and the water was a little bit deeper, I changed everything up with regard to the spool. All I did was I switched from a floating line to a full sinking line, same leader, same rod. So it's really that simple. Now, when it comes to the reels, these fish run, and they run far and they run hard. So make sure while you're doing your day-to-day up here with all this sand and all this grit, that you keep your reels clean, because if you get any sand in there, it'll mess with your drag system, and for sure that trophy Arctic char will be gone to sea. One of the great things about fishing such a dramatic tidal fishery, like the one we have here at York Sound on Baffin Island, is that if you have success at high tide, when the tide falls away, you can actually get to see the structure that caused you to have that success. Case in point, high tide right now, and when we had low tide, there was a ridge that those fish stuck to all around the basin of the sound. That caused us to have huge success fishing Arctic char here with Polar Outfitting on Baffin Island. Just came in right on the surface. Whoa, is this ever a big fish? This is a big char. Oh! The fight of these things is incredible. I'm trying to get my landing glove on. It was crazy. That fish literally surfed in on a wave, turned on the fly, came back on it and ate it, and it was just, it's what Arctic char dreams are made of. You know, I knew we were onto something with this technique, and it was just going to be a matter of time before it paid dividends. It was, there was too many fish coming in and short striking our flies. for this knot to actually work out. So if I can bring this fish to show you, it'll be well worth the effort. This is unbelievable. This is the 4th run this fish has taken. We're almost back into the backing again. I just want to see it. After all this work, I just want to see what she looks like. Oh my gosh, it's like 6 inches wide across the back. I need to do something bold here. I'm going to lose this fish. It's wrapped up in the mouth. Got 14-pound test line. Got him. Let me get safe here. All right, so hands down, this is my biggest Arctic char, and we're gonna let him go to get even bigger. What a magnificent fish.
Well, that about does it for this episode of The New Fly Fisher. Thanks for watching. Great thanks goes to Alex Flaherty, his guides, and everyone at Polar Outfitting. For more information, check out our website at www.thenewflyfisher.com. Remember, adventure is out there. All you have to do is go and find it. And what better way than to do it with a fly rod in your hand? For everyone here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for watching. I'm Mark Melnick, and maybe we'll see you in the north.
Hi, I'm Mark Melnick from the New Fly Fisher television show. If you enjoyed that video, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe today. Also, we're uploading new videos all the time, so hit the bell to be notified when the next one goes up.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Nunavut tourism, Orvis sporting traditions,
Rio products,
Superfly, fly fishing made easy.